Hey guys, this is Richie and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to take a look at some Max for Live devices that I found on the maxforlive.com website that kind of breathe a new life into the Roland TB3. I've had a TB3 for a very long time and kind of just used it for the simple 303 clone type of sounds and some of the other little presets that come with it. But these devices actually turn the TB3 and unlock a lot of features that you don't really see. And actually, I've seen other editors out there, and I've never seen them have some of these parameters that this device has. So it's been really cool to see what this little module of the TB3 is able to do once you play with these devices. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the TB3 sound editor. And the first thing you're going to do when you load it is you can click on the TB3 logo, and that's going to send all the parameters from this over to the TB3. So I've got a little pattern here. It's very basic. So you can see that we can adjust the cutoff and sending it over to the TB3. We've got the TB3 in here as a external instrument. Now the cool thing is, normally you're just locked to the presets that come with the TB3, but with this we can actually edit the presets and create our own presets. So we can actually turn on the square oscillator and bring up the volume for that. Now here's another crazy thing that we can do is we can actually detune the oscillators. And then there's a third oscillator. And then there seems to be a sub oscillator also. And then we can add some white noise. And another cool thing is that we can actually adjust the filter envelope. And then we can add ring modulation to it. And then the fun thing that we can even do is cross modulation. So you can actually modulate this oscillator based on the other oscillators. So you could send the square oscillator into the saw oscillator. And that's where you end up with some frequency modulation. And of course an LFO with BPM sync. So as you can see, there's a ton of different functions that you don't get from the front of the screen on the TB3. Then there's also a pattern editor. So with this, if we click this arrow, it'll send the pattern over to the TB3. And some of these don't work completely because they are just kind of homebrewed apps that someone developed, but this one seems to be a little So if we go into the TB3, we can actually see these steps also. So yeah, the pattern editor seems to have some bugs to it, but it's still pretty interesting when it does work that you can edit your whole pattern right on here. The nice thing also is that the sound editor shows up on the push also all the parameters, and it has multiple banks for each thing. So you could actually have the TB3 kind of off to the side and not even have to worry about touching it or changing it, and you can still tweak it from the push. So I've got this pattern already up here. Now we've also got the effect editor. So I'm going to bring this down to a more basic sound so that we can hear the effects. I'm going to just have, all right. So if we look at the effects, you can see we have distortion. We have a ton of different distortion models. And the nice thing is the distortion models actually get affected by the filter. Both patterns were playing at the same time, so we just have to clear that. I'm sure these are models of a lot of distortion units that were used in a lot of classic tracks. And then we have effects. So we can actually add a compressor. Or we could add a bit crusher. We could add a tremolo, chorus. And then we get a second effect. or reverb. And then the last device is really nice because what it allows you to do is assign different parts of the TB3 to different parameters. So we could say, okay, well, we want effects 2, reverb, and maybe the effect level to be controlled by the effect knob. We hit right. So you can see that this leads to a lot of different interesting things that we can do. And experiment with. Now let's say you finally get a sound that you really like and you want to save it into your TB3. You just hold down the envelope mod button, turn the knob. Oops, that's not it. Forgot that you have to actually not be playing a pattern while you do that for it to save. So now if we want to save this, we hold down, we stop playing, hold down envelope mod, and that puts it into write mode. And then you hit play, and it saves it in there as a preset. So now if we go, so there you go. That's a look at the Max for Live devices from maxforlive.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that you check out these devices if you still have a TB3 laying around that you haven't been using. It'll breathe some new life into it. And also they're pretty affordable now because they've been around for a while. So it's pretty cool to be able to do some interesting things with these devices now that I didn't even know existed. So check them out and let me know in the comments if you come up with some interesting patches. And let me know if you hear of any other cool Max for Live devices that edit some of these hardware devices that we've got, like the AIRA gear and stuff like that. So I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for checking it out.